Hello everyone. I'd like to introduce a 3D modeling software which is the TinkerCAD owned by Autodesk. So first step is to subscribe to TinkerCAD. You guys go to the internet and search for TinkerCAD here, TINKER CAD, and you guys will find this website, tinkercad.com, and then just to subscribe the software with your email. It's very simple and quick. Once you guys subscribe and log in the TinkerCAD, you guys will see this kind of the front page. It might be a little bit different, but basically it's the same. If we take a look at the top left, here is the logo of TinkerCAD. So whenever we need to go back on this main menu, simply click on this one, yeah, like this, anytime. So click on this to back on the main the UI of the program, and we see the username here and classes. That is to work together as a group, say like a class. Okay, we can create multiple classes with specific purpose. For example, this class is for doing something, and another class that is to 3D model something in automobile, and another class that is for designing some natural things in nature, like trees or houses and something like that. So classes, and you can organize your group, and also you can be one of the group members in a certain class. But we are not going to focus on this one this time. So pretty much we're going to focus on this one, the designs. Okay, and tutorials. This one comes with lots of great the lessons that we can learn. So like this one, how to view a 3D model or so on. But like I said, we're gonna just focus on this one, right? So here, so click on this designs, and that shows these like pre-made menus and projects. From the top, we see a 3D designs, and below that circuits, code blocks. So 3D designs, that is a place where we can 3D model and also 2D model as well, but basically this TinkerCAD program that is to design 3D models. So more like 3D designs. With the circuits, we can create analog and digital circuits, as we see the three projects on the right side of this section. Circuits start to simulating a circuit, like providing like a I forgot the name of this one, like the coin battery, a battery that is connected to a register, and the register that is connected to an LED, like that way, and whether or not it works we can simulate. And Arduino, we can simulate Arduino projects as well, and some other projects too in this menu, circuits. Code blocks, we can simulate physics and some other animations. We can create animations as well with code block functions. I'm gonna go ahead and visit this one, the 3D designs, and that's the purpose of today's tutorial, especially the first look of this menu, 3D design. So let me go ahead and click on this one, the 3D designs. Either this one, create your first 3D design, or click on this one. Okay, so I'm gonna go with this one. This is pretty much very much straightforward interface, right? We just click this one, and or this one. So click this and then choose 3D design, either way. Okay, so 3D design, that gives me this interface, right? So like I mentioned, always this one, that is go back to the main menu. So let me go ahead and click on this, right? So that switches to the main menu, like we did before, because we create this, or this is the project that I just made, right? But just for a demo, I click on this and I'm here. So I want to visit the previous project again, just the name, right? That's it, right? So just click on that and then tinker this. Okay, that means edit the project. Okay, so tinker this. All right, so that took me to the project again. So this one, this is the project name. Okay, so this is the project name. We can change the name just by clicking on the name like that. So this is project 1. Okay, so like that way we can change, right? This is the work plane, right? This is work plane where we can design any of our creativity. So I'm using a mouse. The way that we can use this work plane, press down the mouse right button and then move, right? Then the work plane that responds to the movements of the mouse. Okay, I'm still pressing down the mouse right button. So once I drag to the left, the work plane that goes to the left as well. And when I move to the right, it goes to the right as well. When I move up, that goes up as well, and down, like that way. Okay, so I'm gonna pick one of these basic shapes, as you guys see over here, right? So these are the basic shapes that we can pick and bring it to this work plane, right? If we click on this spot here, like where we see the two the triangles here, right? One up and the other one down, right? We click this, that pops up this dialog, giving me an opportunity of choosing one of these shape libraries. Okay, so the previous one, that is basic shapes, design starters. I can click this one, right, and we see, yeah, that brings up these the models, and I can get more by just clicking on this one, the more shapes, and that brings up more shapes and more shapes. So the purpose of these shapes, we can design something based on a certain shape, not likely 100% from the scratch, nothing there, and we design something. So the basic idea of TinkerCAD is to design something based on either one of these. So for example, I'm gonna design something based on one of these basic shapes. Okay, so let me show you guys an example. So I'm gonna bring in this box, 3D box. Okay, then how? Simply click that one, right? Just like the selected this one, and move the mouse cursor to the work plane area, right? So I'm gonna place that 3D box here, right? And simply click on the left mouse button, right? So like this, right? So that's placed on that spot like that way, right? As you guys know that I'm pressing down the mouse right button and then move the mouse point, right? So that I can see, right, the 3D box from different angles like that, right? And I want to take a closer look of this 3D box and how, right, using the mouse wheel, right, I'm scrolling up, and that brings the 3D box toward my eyes. Okay, and also I can zooming out like that way and zoom up, and I want to move the work plane to the right side, right? But I try, so mouse left button, that is not for doing that, and mouse right button, no, that is to rotate, right, up and down, to the left and to the right. Technically, the purpose of the mouse right button, that is to control the camera view, right? So by just scrolling the mouse wheel, have the camera points close to the object, such that way we can see it bigger, right, and smaller like that. And mouse right button, that is to change the angle of the camera like that, right? But my purpose is to move the viewpoint from this point to the right side. Then how? Press down and hold the shift key on the keyboard. Okay, so I'm pressing down and holding, right? I'm keeping pressing down the shift key, right? And I'm gonna press down the mouse right button, right, and move the mouse to the right side. So I'm keeping holding the shift key and mouse right button, such that way I can move the work plane to anywhere. We call it panning, right? P-A-N, like that way. All right. Another thing that I want to explain as the very basic features of TinkerCAD, this cube. On the top left side, we see a little a box cube in gray with letters on it, top, front, right? This one is a pre-programmed camera control, predefined camera control. So once I click this top, it's going to change the camera angle to the top portion so that we can see the object from each top, right? So let me go ahead and click on this top, right? So it changed the camera, right, to be look like this, and I can click this side here, right, and that's gonna change to the side, right, the right side, and once I click this one, that's gonna rotate front, and once I click this one again, it's gonna switch to the left, like that. And I want to check the box from the bottom, and I click here, the bottom, okay, so that it goes to the bottom, like that way. And I want to go back to top and click this, okay? And there is another way that we can have the camera to the top position, which is the default position, right? We just go ahead and click on this, the home button, right? And that goes to the original view. All right, this one is the same with the mouse wheel function, the wheel that we can zooming out like this and zooming up. All right. I'm going to explain the other functions next time, okay? So let's review. This one, the logo, top left, okay? This one is go back to the main menu, right? Exiting from this project, right? I go back to the main where we can pick the other features like a simulation, code blocks, and so on. This one is to change the project name, okay? We can change project something like that, 01, okay? And this one is to control the view, right? Very useful. We have only one object, so it's easy, right, that we can change using the mouse right button. But when there are lots of objects, right, this one is handy, very much handy, like that way, right? Okay. This one is to go back to the home view, right, the original, like a default view, like that way. So when we load to something, like after manipulating the object, we lost the point, right? It's maybe difficult to go back to the perspective view, which is the home view. Simply move the cursor and click on this, and that goes back to the default, which is a home view. All right, this one is to zoom in, zoom out, and on the other side, the right side of the screen, where we can pick different shapes. Okay, so I'm gonna bring in a donut, a shape, technically torus. Okay, click that one and bring it over here, right? And the star shape, simply click that one, move the mouse cursor, locate a position, and then drop. Okay, and definitely we can zooming in and zooming out. If we want to find another shape, like say hardware, we get more shapes by just click on this button, more shapes. Then maybe what about this, and then bring it over here, yeah, like that. All right, so that's the very first overview of TinkerCAD. We're gonna talk more about the other features next time. All right, thank you, bye bye.